Iran claims to have targeted the U.S. aircraft carrier. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps say they have attacked USS Abraham Lincoln. The IRGC claims to have launched 4 ballistic missiles towards the 100,000-ton nuclear-powered supercarrier capable of carrying roughly 60 aircraft to 75. If confirmed, this will be the first direct attack on a U.S. aircraft carrier in decades. Along with the USS Abraham Lincoln, the U.S. has also deployed USS Gerald Ford. Once again, this is from Iran, and the IRGC has just put out a statement that it claims to have targeted U.S. aircraft carrier. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps say they have attacked USS Abraham Lincoln. The IRGC claims to have launched 4 ballistic missiles towards the 100,000-ton nuclear-powered supercarrier capable of carrying roughly 60 to 75 aircraft. If confirmed, this will be the first direct attack on a U.S. aircraft carrier in decades, along with the USS Abraham Lincoln. The U.S. has also deployed USS Gerald Ford. And remember, the President of the United States has already warned Iran not to escalate or to do something that will anger the President of the United States, because he says he will now use all means necessary or all force against Iran's actions. And also, earlier today, there was a strike in Israel, and 9 people have lost their lives in an area called Beit Shemesh in Israel. This is following retaliatory strikes by Iran towards Israel. This is after Israel's Roar the Lion operation, together with the United States Epic Fury operation, which targeted Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and some armed officials or senior officials in Iran. Joining us live from London is Mr. James Marlow. He's a foreign and defense and West Asia analyst. Mr. Marlow, thank you very much for your time and for joining us at this hour. The latest coming in, I'll begin with the latest coming in, is that Iran has claimed, or the IRGC has claimed, to have targeted or attacked the USS Abraham Lincoln. And we did hear from the President of the United States, Donald Trump. He had warned Iran not to escalate this matter. What happens if at all Iran does indeed attack the supercarrier?
Well, as you can imagine, Eric, this is a full-blown war, and it's a very fluid situation. I'm getting notifications on my device in front of me right now, non-stop, and I've only been on the line for, less than 30 seconds with you as well. So it's really hard to know where to start. The Americans have made it very, very clear. I'm surprised that the Iranian regime never actually got the message. When you suddenly move one of the largest American forces into the region ever seen before in that region, surely that should actually get Iran to think about what it is that they're saying and how they're saying it in the negotiations. But they were very, very insistent. They demanded against America. And of course, this is what's happened as a result. And my feeling was that we were going to get to this stage simply because the ambassador to Israel from the United States, Mike Huckabee, a week before last Friday, sent an email to his employees at the embassy to say, those who wish to leave, I would suggest you do it in the next few days. And then Friday, for some reason, he released a tweet or a statement which actually said, those who wish to leave, I suggest you get out right now on a Friday, which gave us the impression that something was going to happen within the next 24 hours. Now, what has happened right now, I can tell you, is that I've just heard from the IDF, or from a source within the IDF, that they are again attacking specific positions across Iran. These are Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the militaries. They're hitting their missile systems, but of course those missile systems systems are right across Iran, and they're going across into Israel, as well as 7 other countries in the region, which has surprised a lot of people, including the Europeans and the British, as to why that they would attack specific targets in Dubai. Like, for example, I've just got word an apartment block has just been hit. Earlier, it was the Bahrain airport, international airport. Of course, yesterday we saw a hotel in Dubai. The Iranians are going after those tourists who are benefiting from Gulf holidays, and they want to hurt their economy. But at the same time, they've also pounded Israel this morning. For about 2 hours, the sirens were going off from the north to the south in the center. As you probably heard, there has been some of those missiles and attack drones that have got through. It's simply impossible to shoot them all down. There has been casualties on the Israeli side, and Israel is hitting back. And this is what happens in war, sadly.
Mr. Marlow, how long can Israel withstand the retaliation from Iran? Because Iran says and has claimed it will not stop here. It will go on for as long as it takes.
Yeah, I think that meeting between Netanyahu and President Trump about a week and a half ago was crucial, because clearly certain things were being discussed. Netanyahu flew out to Washington without his aides. There was no press conference. It was a secret talk, and clearly something was on the cards. And obviously what Netanyahu was trying to convince the president was that you'll never ever get a better chance if you take down this Iranian regime, a regime change, which is exactly what 80% of the Iranian people inside Iran want, according to many surveys. And of course, you've got millions of Iranians all over the world, in the United States, here in London, where I am at right now, across Europe, who've been celebrating in Jewish communities, dancing on the streets with what they call their Jewish brothers and their Israeli brothers, because they see eye to eye. If this regime falls, then what you're going to see is the potential for real peace across the Middle East, not seen before for decades. What you can see is Iran joining the Iran joining the Abraham Accords. You can see, of course, Hamas and Hezbollah and Islamic Jihad and the Houthis, they would stay in power. They would still have their AK-47s. They would have political parties. They would have influence. They would still shoot many of their own people. But they won't have the type of training that this Iranian regime has given them for the last 47 years. They won't have the long-range missiles. That means a complete and utter change across the Middle East. Netanyahu saw that opportunity, tried to convince President Trump, this could be your coming. This could be the reason why you were voted in to become the American president. Now, of course, things are very crucial as the coming days and weeks unfold. And we are seeing, obviously, a lot of devastation right now. But the end game is, and others should not take their eye off the objective, and that is regime change. How is that going to come about? Well, it's not going to come about by the Israelis and the Americans putting soldiers on the ground in Iran. That's definitely not going to happen. And at this stage, Saudi, who are really angry with the Iranians right now, along with the UAE and Bahrain and other Gulf states, they're unlikely to put soldiers on the ground in Iran. That means that it has to be some of those from the IRGC inside Iran right now, and there's clearly an intelligence leak. It's major. The information that the Americans and the Israelis have got, so they could have targeted the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and I'm hearing this morning as well, or this afternoon, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. He was the president between the year 2005 to 2013. He was very famous because he kept saying, Israel will be dead. Israel will be destroyed. We will destroy Israel. He said that hundreds and hundreds of times. That's how he became very famous. He's been hit. It's not been confirmed yet by the Iranian authorities, but he's been hit. Israel and the Americans are slowly taking out all their leaders. That means some of them are moving to the other side. If that happens, they will have tanks, they will have arms, they might have airplanes, and they might join with the people and then overthrow this regime. But of course, it's difficult to say at this point exactly how that's going to unfold in the coming days and weeks.
So we'll have to wait and see what unfolds in West Asia and what really unfolds in Iran in the coming days or even weeks or even months. But that is up to Iranians to decide. James Marlow, thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you.